Good evening. Welcome to another Focus on Friday. And tonight we're going to go in a direction that's a bit more upbeat from last week, and we'll talk about Ivan Velez Jr. Ivan, who was born in the Bronx in 1961, is a comic book artist and an advocate for the queer community. He did in 1987 to 1993 a series called Tales from the Closet, which dealt specifically with the HIV/AIDS crisis and being a person of color, a minority in New York City and whatnot. And he did it because he felt that there was a lot of misinformation, especially targeting children and teenagers, about what was going on. And so this was his way to combat and communicate the correct information about the AIDS crisis. His work brought him to Milestone Media in the early 90s, where he worked to expand the representation of Latino and queer and multicultural community people within the comic book industry, and eventually would go on to work for both Marvel and for DC, and for some large titles, including Ghost Rider, Eradicator, Extreme Justice in DC. He even did Scooby-Doo and Dexter's Laboratory, and he did some stuff for the Powerpuff Girls. Now he works primarily on his own queer-themed material as he tries to continue to bring his Puerto Rican roots and just people of color and our community, the gay community, more exposure from a ground-up point of view. So we see the reality of how life looks in America from our point of view. He has been known to say that the big superheroes in both the Marvel and the DC community are more of a narrative that corporate thinks will sell, and it's more of a white middle class to upper class mentality, especially when you look at characters like Batman, for example. So it is his vision to show more of a rounded American point of view, a more literal point of view from everyday people. And you can actually see his work in the representations in those books. But if you go to his website, planetbronx.com, you can see a lot more and read more about him as well. And that is Ivan Velez Jr., and that is our Focus on Friday. So you all have a good evening.